to show you how we plan out our homeschool week using Connexus Academy.
Hi, so today I'm going to show you how I use a computer to plan out our week, and I'll also show you how I stay organized with all of our portfolios. So I'll show you that first. So I have this folder here. It says Stevens 5th grade portfolios, and if we click on that, you'll see inside I have a subfolder for each class. This is actually a picture that I sent to his teacher, and that's why that's in here. So for language arts, if we open that, you'll see all of the different things that we have done so far for school and how I name them. So let's say it's a portfolio. This one was our personal narrative, so I name it Reynoso Steven _ personal narrative _ draft _ page 1. This one was the explanatory essay. So it's Steven Reynoso _ language arts, as that's what the LA stands for, _ lesson 5, unit 13. Oops, where did it go? And then explanatory essay, draft page 3. So that's how we do it. And we don't always, my scanner hates me, so sometimes I just take a picture of what he's working on and I submit it that way. So yeah, and this is a poem that he wrote that we shared with his teacher. Alright, so I use Google Chrome. So when I'm getting ready to do my planning for the week, I go over to Connexus, which is our login page, and I log in. And I'm sure this page looks familiar to you. It says that we are on track and our overall score. And then I go ahead and click on Planner. Tomorrow is the day we go back to school, so right now it shows nothing on our planner. I'm going to go ahead and click on the word month, which will change it over to the entire month of January. And when I am first looking at this, I am scanning these little icons here to see what we have upcoming that's important. This little P with the manila, like the little folder, it means that it's a portfolio. The quick checks, the Q in the check is a quick check, and PE is here, doesn't have anything to do. So you see here that we have a portfolio coming up in Intro to Computers. This little 2 in parentheses means that it is a 2-day lesson, and since we don't have computers every day, we can start on the portfolio and it'll be due next Tuesday. I'm going to skip over to page 4 where it gets to the activity. You see this up here? And it'll highlight what it is that you're actually doing as you skip through the pages. And then it's going to tell us exactly what we need to do. So I see here that we're going to need to be using PowerPoint, which is important. So I'll note that down on my in my own personal planner, saying, okay, tomorrow he's going to need to allot some time on a computer that has PowerPoint, because not all of our computers have PowerPoint on them. So that's important. And since it's not due till Tuesday, he can start working on it tomorrow, work on it over the weekend a little bit, and also on Tuesday, and then it'll be turned in. Now, let's see. I'm going to skip these lessons because you see how it says getting ready for language arts. Although if you are new, it would be really good to take a look at this because it's going to break down all the important parts of the lesson, talking about all the different things and what a word wall is and those sorts of things. So it's really cool and really important, but I'm going to skip that for now, and I am going to look at Friday's lesson and see what we have going on. I see that we're going to be talking about antecedents and pronouns, and you saw in it, and you're going to see in Stephen's binder how I have prepared for that. So what I do is I say, okay, so we're working on antecedents and pronouns, and I go over here and I go to Pinterest and I pull up Pinterest and I type in pronoun antecedent, and you see it's pronoun antecedent agreement. and it will have a whole bunch of different information about what pronoun and antecedent agreements are. So that way, if we need extra help with that, we can, help him out. I use a lot of these anchor charts for inspiration and ideas, and I place them in his binder, which you'll see in a moment. And there's also a lot of great links to Teachers Pay Teachers, where you can get printables and all sorts of things. So that's what I do for that. And then I scroll through the rest of the lesson and see like what we have going on, how we're reading a story, and she's talking about visualizing what a tall tale is. I see here that we're going to be using the Your Turn book is what it says. Turn to the Your Turn book. So then I'll get out the book and I'll put a paper clip on page 244 so he knows that that needs to be done. Then for the vocabulary words, what I'll do is I will have him write down his vocabulary words in a notebook so that way he can practice that. And then he also has to do page 237 in his reading writing workshop book. And it keeps going. So I just look at everything that we have to do for the week and prepare, and then he can go ahead and take the quick check for that day. For math, what I am looking for when I scroll through math, I know that he has a spiral review. I look through the questions. I say, oh no, it's a word problem. How's he going to do on this? Or, here we are. Anyway, so I look at those and see if there's any ones that he doesn't understand. Then I will click on the reteaching to build, and I'll say I'll print it out and have it ahead of time. And then I go ahead over here to the hands-on activity. Every math lesson has a hands-on activity, and I look at what we need for that, and I have it prepared. I'll put like the straws in a Ziploc baggie and put that in our math drawer. And then I just look here and make sure there's nothing else that needs to be printed out, like the coordinate grid chapter. When we were going through that, there is like a ton of printable coordinate grids that really helped it. Then I take a look at the month at a glance. So I see, all right, so we're learning triangles. Whew, how many days do we have to get this out? So we're learning triangles on Monday. Yeah, triangles on Monday. Quadrilaterals on Tuesday. Both of those are just quick checks. And then Wednesday, we already have a quiz. That means that I'm going to spend Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday preparing, really drilling those in so that way by Wednesday he is prepared for his quiz. It's also a 2-day lesson, so he has Wednesday and Thursday to complete that quiz. Look, in language arts, he also has a quiz. So make sure that he really understands what the pronoun, antecedent agreement is going to be. We are going through the flashcards, understanding the spelling words, all of that way before Thursday, so he is prepared. And let's see, we have a science quiz, all of that coming up. And then we have a portfolio in PE, which is just an Excel spreadsheet, and we also have a science portfolio. Look ahead at those science portfolios because they usually have something like that you will need to prepare ahead of time. So to make sure that you don't need to go to the store or grab anything so you don't get behind in those portfolios, I open it. Let me go back here. So I go to the activity page and I click on the lab sheet. And in the lab sheet, I look and it says what the materials are. 2 bottles, scissors, tape, chloride paper, 2 plastic cups, and a sheet of paper. So on that day, I'm going to make sure that I have all those things set aside so we can just do our portfolio. Now, our teachers are really good about making sure we have all the information that we need. If you look down here, you have the library, the little resource backpack, the forum. So I would click here on the little thumbtack. It has Mrs. Toller, the live lessons, science helps, and you click on science, and it'll tell you exactly what you need for those things. She hasn't posted anything yet for the upcoming ones because, you know, we've been on break. So I'm sure it'll be there shortly. But yeah, so that's what I do. I just look ahead and plan for the week about what's going on. If you look here, you'll see that in 2 weeks I'll have a social studies portfolio, and that's going to be a big one. How do I know? Because it's a 3-day lesson. A 3-day lesson means that there is something that they're going to be working on for a long time. So I'm going to scroll through and see what could it be that they are working on so much, and I'll see what the portfolio is. For all the other classes that are not computers, usually the portfolio will be on the last page of the assessment page, and it'll tell you what it is. And the rubric is so important. Click on the rubric and it'll tell you exactly what you need to get an A. And I print these out and I say, okay, well, now it's time for you to work on your portfolio. And I don't go through the whole thing with him. I'll say, all right, read it back to me now. Okay, does it have 4 more resources? Yes? Oh, you only have 3? What do you think you need to do? You know, does it have a resource from the internet? No, you don't have no resource from the internet? Okay, well, what do you think you need to do? So I say all of those things to him. Is anything spelled wrong? What do you think you need to do? We have this conversation a lot, very often. And then it also has a checklist here, which is so cool, of how to do this is a huge project. So they're doing their first 5th grade research paper, and it has all of the different things, like have you made it all the way to the end and when it's going to be due. So you can stay on top of it and make sure that you're not falling behind. Alright, well, this is how I go ahead and plan for the week and glance ahead to the month. And now I'll show you how I actually put it all into action. Okay, guys, so we're back. Now I'm going to show you how I actually use all of that screen planning and put it into actual use. So Stephen has a binder for each class, and in the middle of in each binder, I have a section for anchor charts. I'll just flip through those really quickly. Here, let's turn so you can see a little bit better. And we have like a lot of writing ones to help remind him that when it is time to write, he can flip through these and get help remembering. They help him to study. Some of them he's made himself, some of them I've made. Then we have his portfolios, his writing, his vocabulary, and a reading log that we created for the books that he's reading. For math, it's very similar. We have this little envelope because in the back of each math section there is cut out vocabulary word cards, and math vocabulary is so important, especially when it comes to those end of the year tests. And then there's just more anchor charts that I created to kind of show him how the math is. Difference in this one is that I put his math portfolios in the middle of each lesson. Decimals, decimal portfolio. This one was one of my favorites that I found on Pinterest. Stephen was having a hard time with decimal division and remembering the steps. So with this, we promised him that if he got a 90% or above on the decimal division test, that we would get him a Baconator from Wendy's, and he was so excited, and he definitely earned his Baconator. And here, just is an example of some of the foldables we do. So if you look under here for the coordinate grid, he wrote down what each thing is, like what an origin, a y-axis, all that, how to solve a math word problem, and then how soon we're going to be doing decimal addition and subtraction. So, and then he has all of his work that he does on a daily basis. We also use a lot of graph paper, and that's someplace else. So now I'll show you our handy dandy cart here. So each one of these drawers pulls out, and this is where I keep his math book, some extra writing paper, and a folder that matches the color of the drawer. We split up language arts, so we do all the reading stuff first, and then we do all whatever the workbook stuff is that he's required for that day, and so on and so forth. I'll go in and put paper clips for whatever, like marking off the pages that needs to be marked off, if anything needs to be printed. If he's like, oh Mom, it says I gotta print this out, it'll already be printed out and put in the folder for that drawer. Like this is a language arts folder, so if it says print this out, or your learning coach should print this out, it'll be printed out and placed already in the folder for that day. So we are prepared and ready to go. What does our schedule look like for the day? I'm going to post Steven's schedule. He wakes up at 7:30 in the morning, and we do morning chores like get dressed and brush your teeth and make your bed, that sort of thing. And then we go ahead and have a morning meeting over breakfast where we talk about, okay, today I'd like for you to start with math since you have a test. Or let's save math to the end of the day because it seems to be an easy math. Or on a really hard math day, we'll save history for last because history is his favorite subject. So here is Steven's daily schedule. It is printed in his room. I made this on Canva. If you would like to use this without obviously Steven's name, I can email you a copy, I guess. But it basically says, you know, what time he is to wake up, that we have our morning meeting, then from 8:30 to 12 we do schoolwork. Our lunch chores are just like clean off the table or clean up whatever we've done so far so we can start at 1 p.m. fresh. And at 1 p.m. he finishes schoolwork, and after that he has, you know, to study for his extra things that he does throughout the week. And then he has free time because, I mean, really those things don't take till 5 o'clock. It really doesn't. So around 5 o'clock he is free for the day. And then at 8 p.m. we do a 1 hour power hour cleaning, and he goes to bed. So that's how we plan out our week. We're so excited to go back to school tomorrow, and if you have any questions, just comment below and I will answer them. It's been really fun sharing how I plan out for the week, and I can't wait to hear how you guys plan out for the week and if any of my tips and tricks have helped you. Alright, have a great week. Bye-bye.